It's cold. Okay, you guys, let me go grab my jacket. I didn't realize it was this cold out here. Okay, we're supposed to be down in the 20s tonight? Okay, yeah, I can believe it. So we're preparing for this Arctic blast or some sort that's supposed to be coming. Anyways, I wanted to get on here because um okay, I'm back. So you guys are reading the title correctly, and I totally get it. I get it. The reason why you guys, um, most of you are not going to get out here and date. Um, you can't afford to choose wrong. You know, it's too much of a liability, you guys, especially when you've been single a very, 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 very long time. So for my situation, it's literally because I don't want to date. I don't want to put myself back out here in the dating world because I don't like it. I don't like how people date. Um I don't like the mentality of how people see relationships. And I'm not going to put myself out there ever. When I made up in my mind in 2015, which I made up in my mind in 2015 that I was done with out here dating after my divorce. And I told myself I would never get back out here and date. And I don't regret my decision. I did casually meet men, but it was nothing serious with them and I. Nothing sexual with them and I. Just kind of seeing how the dating world was, right? When I did kind of put myself out there a little bit. And then I went back in hiding when I realized that this is not something that I want to be a part of out here. So I had no idea, you guys, dating was like this. I had no idea that people were dating the way that they were dating, which we see now. So I totally get it. It's not coming from a place of bitterness or hatred with me with men. I'm just not feeling the dating world. I'm not feeling the dating market. I'm not feeling the suitors. I mean, of course, I'm going to keep getting approached by men and all this and that, but I'm not interested in what you men have to offer, because what you're doing and how you're approaching women, certain women who have morals and things like that, I'm not interested in your approach. You're approaching dating incorrectly. Most of you are. That's partially, the majority, not partially, why you're not getting girlfriends, why women are not enthused on getting to know you, because you're not approaching women correctly. You're approaching women very disingenuously. And I've met a lot of you men who are very disingenuously. You're just not, you're not real, you're not authentic, you're not coming from a place of realness or anything where a woman should trust you. And women who don't feel safe with you are not going to deal with you. Less more submit to you. So ladies, I totally get why many of you, especially some of you who have been single for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, are not going to get back out here. You want to know who I'm concerned for? I'm concerned for the younger generation of women. That's who I'm concerned for. Yeah. And I know that they have all this information about men that's like right here for them to hear, but at that young age, you know, there's always going to be that curiosity. There's always going to be that gamble. And ladies, there is a gamble when you're dealing with a man. And right now, there is a gamble even getting out here dating, especially with these STDs that are like amplifying. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to get out here and date. Because let's say hypothetically, I was in a relationship. When I tell you that my partner would have to literally be celibate prior to meeting him, I mean that. I mean, it's there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Well, Akina, how would you know if he is? Well, his actions and his behavior will tell me where he's coming from. Meaning, you know, a man who's lustful and sex driven, that's all his focal point is going to be about. That's all he's going to talk about. That's all the relationship is going to be centered on. And sex is great in a healthy, solid relationship. But the problem with dating out here is a lot of people don't want to build a solid foundation of a relationship. You like the title of saying that I'm involved with somebody, but actually putting in the work, without actually being serious about the person. You know, and I don't have the energy to get out here and deal with that. Fake people. So why it's going to be important that he be celibate is because who can afford to get out here and sleep around, you guys? Who can afford that? You getting out here sleeping around and passing STDs around and taking that chance, and condoms are not 99.9% effective. So that means each time you get out here and you're intimate with somebody, whether you're using protection or not, there's always going to be that risk. That risk is that condom tearing, a hole bead in the condom. I mean, there's just a lot of risk here. And you're thinking that you're being faithful and loyal to this one person, but this person is not being faithful and loyal to you because they just want to still get out here and date while they're married or partnered. So once again, there's too many risks, there's too many liabilities when you're talking about getting out here dating right now, especially for a woman. It's bad enough we have to do background checks. Ladies, I hope you guys are not going out with men not doing background checks. Please tell me you're not going out with men not doing background checks. And if you are, then this is exactly what I'm talking about. Some of y'all just put yourselves in very dangerous situations with men because you have been programmed to believe that we're just supposed to trust men. We're just supposed to trust them at face value. And that's why I keep getting on here saying that the way how you ladies date, it terrifies me. I should not be seeing videos of women inviting men to their homes on first dates. Like when I met my ex-husband, he did not come to my house. I met him through friends and we ended up meeting in a local place with other people that we knew so that the setting would be comfortable. Everything would be comfortable. My ex-husband did not, let me see, when did he come to my home? He eventually came to my home like after 6 months of dating each other. Like it was a really long time before I invited him to my home. It was a really, really long time, you guys. Because most of our dates and stuff was us meeting up in public and I never went to his house and we were just around a lot of people that we knew, like friends and stuff. But times have changed. That was like 15 years ago? So moving forward, you ask a guy to meet you that way, like out in public, they're not gonna want to do that in today's climate. You know. They gotta make sure there's no other guy while, you're dating and sleeping and, getting their money. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm not interested in dating, because times have changed. The way how people used to date was a lot more safer than what it is now and how people are dating. So I come from the old school where no man should be coming to your house like that, unless, you're serious about this man and you guys have built some foundation and stuff like that. But like I said, that's the thing. People are not trying to build meaningful connections with people these days. They just want the benefit of whatever comes in a relationship and whoop-de-doo, that's it. But actually building that foundation, no, a lot of you don't want to build a foundation with anybody you're dating. You love the idea of being in a relationship with somebody without actually putting in the work. Same thing with marriage. You love the idea of saying I'm married without actually putting in the work. And if both sides are not putting in the work, or one side isn't putting in the work, then how are you guys building relationships? What you're in situationships. My husband put in the work. He courted me. We dated. We went out. He introduced me to his family. I introduced him to my family at some point. We actually went out. There was effort on his end. It wasn't just us talking on the phone. And back then, none of this talking on the phone went on the way how you guys are, how you're talking to men right now, It's just lazy effort, and it's just not flattering when a man is just talking to you on the phone for months and months and months at a time. It's not flattering. There's no effort. There's no consistency. There's nothing. And another reason why I'm not interested in dating, because it's become dangerous. So you can't even tell a guy no without him trying to unalive you or actively unaliving you, or being stalked or being followed or whatever. It's just become dangerous to date men. Not only do you guys need to do background checks on these men, you might need to get mental health checks done on these men. You might need to get some references done on these men. You may need to find out who the last girlfriend was. You guys need to ask these men, why did the last relationship end? When When men are oftentimes asking me, well, why have you been single so long? I tell them because I choose to be single. I chose to be single after my divorce because I sat back after my divorce and I watched the dating world. That's what I did. And I realized that this is not something that I want to participate in. So I left dating, and that was the end of it. And I haven't looked back into the dating world since then, you guys. And like I said, now that I'm looking at it, I don't make any mistake. I have no regrets in making the choice that I've made. Versus then, looking at right now. Right now is not good. It's not good. No. It's not safe. It's not safe to date as a woman right now. Even beyond the political climate, it's just the mentality of most men now. It's just not good. It's not good. No. The dating apps, everything has been corrupted, you guys. Married men, married people should not be sitting on dating apps. Corn has really messed up the dating world as well, and how people are just out here lusting. And now we have all these STDs. I was just over there on TikTok the other night, not last night. Oh God, I didn't go to bed till like 1 o'clock this morning. My grandmother decided to go on a freaking cleaning spree until 1 o'clock this morning. So I literally just went to bed around maybe 2 o'clock. I've been up since 5. It's a little bit after 7:30 here, Central Standard Time. And I saw where there's this new STD out, which eats away at a woman's vagina, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And it just eats away and it deteriorates. And once you catch it, there's really no cure for it. There's no cure for it. You will eventually pass away from this flesh-eating STD. So that's what's going on out here. Yeah. The fact that people are not being committable or faithful in their unions and relationships that they have now. It's just a turn off, you guys. So single women who are single, we're not just single because we can't find a man. There's nothing for Akina to get out here and find a man. You guys, if you guys saw the beautiful pictures of my friend Guy, he went to Thailand a few years ago and he took those pictures. I think he went last year or the year after that. He took those pictures of Thailand. He's in Baghdad, Iraq. So I did put a picture of Iraq. It's not what the media shows, I know, right? And, it's nothing for Akina to find a man. I have friends all over the globe, you guys. I have friends in Canada. Once I get in my phone, I'm going to show you guys the pictures of Canada and the pictures of London, England. I have friends all over the globe. It's nothing to find a man. It's nothing to get a man. But dealing with the right type of man, that is becoming challenging in today's world, and when the men are sitting here on the mics and podcasts spewing their hatred for women, well, it doesn't make it easy for men, you men, because women are sitting here hearing you, we hear your hatred, and we're realizing what benefit is there to deal with you guys. Between the hatred and the monogamy, the sexism, the red pill, you guys, dating is done. It's done. It's over with. Especially love in the West. It's over. It's over. So there's really no benefit in getting married. There's no benefit in even dealing with men in relationships unless you just want that experience. Unless you just want the experience of saying, I have a man. At least I had this experience. I've had it. I've gotten a taste of what a relationship looks like, at least. But for women like me who's been there, done that, We're not losing anything out here. I'm not losing any sleep. I'm not losing a wrinkle here. And besides, I have too much going on to risk out here when it comes to dating. It's it's become now like a liability and a risk factor for me, especially with the STD that are out here. And all I need to do is just get hooked up with one of these guys, and then boom, I'm caught in some situation that I can't get out of. You know what I'm saying? Especially with me being celibate as long as I have been. But not only that, I have too much going on. I have too much of a recognition and reputation with my business and school, finances to just get out here and date. And I guess what has really turned me off from dating is sitting here listening to the men spew their hatred about women online. Yeah. It's bad enough we had to like hear all of this anti black woman stuff from black men, but when you have men sitting online literally showing their hatred for women, yeah. And then you guys getting online showing how toxic your relationships are, you literally have convinced women like myself not to even get out here and date. It's almost to the point like if you're gonna get out here and date, there needs to be like life insurance on you. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to get in some life insurance before you deal with a man. I mean, you should already have it on you, but you should definitely get in life insurance, especially with all of these men out here unaliving women when being rejected and unaliving women when, women choose to divorce them. It's kind of like, what's the point of dating? It's not safe and it's not fun. And one of my friends went on TikTok yesterday and did a video just saying that dating is not safe and it's not fun. It's not. So what's the point of getting out here dating? It's nothing exciting. You already know what you're going to get and deal with when you meet most of these men. Because like I told you guys, 1 out of 4 men have been sitting down listening to red pill content. So by them sitting down listening to red pill content, the dynamic isn't going to be healthy. Now you got men lying about their political stance. And now you have an STD risk where being celibate and being abstinent is better than getting out here dating and having sex. You guys do realize that being celibate and being abstinent is now becoming the new flex. You guys do realize that. So nobody can come and tell me, oh, I did have a lady tell me yesterday, I should go and get my back blown out. Yeah, she told me this yesterday. Oh, I'll screenshot the comment. She told me, yeah, it's been a long time you haven't had sex. You should definitely go and get your back blown out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lady told me that yesterday. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, why would I go and do that? Why would I go and get my back blown out with all these STDs running around right now? And I'm in Louisiana. We were always dealing with HIV cases. But the cases have spiked here. They're actually making it an awareness here. Like through campaigns about, celibacy and abstinence and all this stuff here. Why would I even want to get out here and deal with all that, you guys? Why? You got to get in a relationship. You got to wonder if your man is cheating. You got to wonder if you're going to catch something. You got to go and get tested. He's got to go and get tested. Why would I want to wake up and have to live in that kind of worry and frustration and stress like that each and every day while being involved with a man. Why would I want to go? Why would I want to sign up for that? And then now you gotta be on pins and needles with most of these men. Why? Because they can't handle their emotions when you're in an argument, and the misogamy and the sexism and the weaponized incompetence and the controlling behavior and the constant tearing down women. Why would I sign up for that? Why? Because most of these men can't see women as human beings. Why would Akina sign up for that? You live with the man, and then when you and him are not working out and you're having disagreements, he's tearing up your shit in your house. Why would I sign up for that, you guys? Why would I want to sign up for that headache and stress and unnecessary drama in my life when my life is already peaceful? Well, Akina, we're not just supposed to be here and just be alone. Well, that's in your reality. That's your reality. And I need people to understand that you create your own reality. Just because society says we have to date each other doesn't mean that that's right for everybody. Just because society says marriage is the end goal, having a family, that doesn't mean that's the reality for everybody. There are some women out here who have been married to men and they don't want to go back through that again. That's me, okay? I've been there, I've done that. I'm not signing up for that again. Not in this generation, absolutely not. No. You guys, there's a lot of unprogramming that needs to happen with a lot of people in order for people to have healthy relationships with each other. And if the women are doing all of the work, because what men don't understand is women like me who are single, we go to therapy, we work out, we eat healthy, we self-care, we self-love. We're doing the inner work. But when you are a man and you're single, you're just jumping from relationship to relationship. And you're looking for voids from women that you need to have for yourself, because you can't get out here and try to have a relationship with somebody if you're not a healed man and you're coming with trauma. Like women like me who are single, we're not just out here, jumping on different men, getting involved with different men. Men have convinced themselves that women who are single, who are claiming to be celibate, are out here getting their backs blown out. No, I can't afford to get my back blown out by one of you guys. There's too many restrictions with me before you can even have access to me to even think about blowing my back out. You need to come with some labs. You need to come with some medical papers. There's just a lot even before I lay down with a man. You got to come with some serious black and white papers for me, okay? From your doctor. I need to know what's going on with you medically and all kind of stuff. Like, it's not just me jumping in bed with a man. No, that's not how it works with me. I didn't even let my ex-husband have access like that. We waited until after marriage. So there's too many risks, ladies. Way too many risks. When you really sit here and you think about it, and I'm not trying to convey or convince you guys not to date. I'm all for happy, healed relationships with men. Notice what I said. I said happy, healed, meaning both people are happy and healed with themselves before getting out here dating. Yeah. Because you're just getting out here dating a man just to say that you have a man, and neither one of you have done the work to even become the better version of yourself, and you're not happy with yourself in your life, and you're not healed, you're not going to get the end results that you're looking for. You guys have to understand that there are people out here that just want to get in relationships because they're lonely, because of sex, whatever. It's codependency vibes. It's not coming from a place of, I want. It's coming from a place of need. Like, I need to be in a relationship in order to be happy. I need to have sex in order to be happy. I need this. I need that. All of these things that you say that you need, you should have those things established within your own life prior to meeting somebody. And if somebody wants to, get a house and get a car, what other way is to get involved with somebody who has a house and has a car? You know, it's crazy how people are dating, and it's giving codependency vibes. And a lot of y'all don't like to be by yourself. You don't like to be in your own space by yourself because you don't like and love yourself. If you were to take yourself out on a date, most of you wouldn't even like doing that. In the time that I've been single, you guys, I go out on my own. I go out alone. I take myself out to places alone, restaurants, anywhere that I want to go. And it's gotten to the point where my girlfriends will call me and they'll be like, "Hey, Akina, where you at?" And I'll be like, "I'm at this restaurant." "Girl, you out there by yourself? We're coming." No, I don't need you guys to be there with me while I'm out by myself. Can I just go out by myself, please? Why is relationships all about you gotta have a partner to be happy? There are people out here, you guys, who are happy in their own space. They're happy in their homes. We have peace. We have peace. I would rather have peace and be in my own space than to settle for somebody that I'm not going to be happy with in the long haul. Because you can be involved with somebody and time can just be wasted with this person that you know that you're not happy with. Look around, you guys. Look at all of the people who are married, who have been married 15, 20, 30 years, who are not happy with their partners. All of that time that has been wasted that they can't get back. And time is just passing them by, and they're getting older and older. And the older that you get, the more health problems that you have. And these people are stuck. They're trapped in marriages that they can't get out of because there's too much time invested. There's too much financial obligation invested. And they can't afford to get out. So they stay in these toxic and unhealthy relationships and marriages just for the whole escape. But deep down inside, they really don't want to be with each other. They don't love each other. The spark is now gone with them and this person. So, and then a lot of people build their relationships off of what the person can do for them. Oh, I married her because she's great in bed. Oh, I married her because she's a great cook. It's nothing about this woman's personality or any of that. So that's what dating has become. Where is my banner at? It's supposed to be up there. So that's what dating has become, you guys. So I find that I am happier when I am surrounded by a community of women, when I have my friends. And even though they're married and partnered and stuff, they respect the idea of me choosing to be single. They totally respect it. They're like, "Akina, I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Why you don't want to date. Why you don't want to date. I get it. I totally get it." Because dating has changed. The way how people date has changed. The expectations of dating has changed. The lack of morals and values in relationships have changed. And how people date. They totally respect my wishes. They respect my boundaries. They do not try to push me to do something that I don't want to do. And they actually do support me while being single. Are relationships a good thing? Yes, they are. With the right person. And some of us have convinced ourselves that if we never find the right person, we are totally okay being single. And then for me, I've just gotten extremely, and I mean extremely comfortable being single. So it's not even a threat to me. Oh, this is why you don't have a man, and this is why you're single, and da 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 blah 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 blah. It's not even about that anymore. Nobody can come and make me feel bad about being single, especially with how dating is right now. Nobody can come and tell me or convince me that me choosing to be single is a bad thing. Especially when I'm over there on um Wednesday Crimes, which is a YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to, and all of these femicide channels that I'm subscribed to, and um, all of the stuff that I talk about on here, and all for women's empowerment and stuff. Nobody can convince me that being single is bad. Nobody can convince me that not dating is a bad thing. I just think that experience should be for people who really want to have it and they're open to it, and um they just want the experience, right? As long as it's healthy and it's coming from a genuine place, I don't see anything wrong with it if both parties are consensual and healed and happy. But once again, dating is a gamble. It is. And getting married is a gamble. And a lot of people cannot afford to get out here and choose wrong. Because ladies, you can get out here and get tied up with a man. He can get you pregnant and it can change your life. He can give you an STD. It can change your life. You know, it's too much of a liability. No other way around it. Dating is traumatizing, but it's too much of a liability and a risk. And I'll say it again. I think a lot of women today are now who are going for I think they have been traumatized by men too many times. Um, all I did was just stuck my toe and wiggled it around out here, and man, I had to get out of that shark infested water. I had to get away from that. I had to get away from that because I'm like, wow, if this is what dating looks like, and this is what it feels, and it's not even about meeting men on dating apps. You guys, I've met men in person who were like coming on to me with their wives present. It was like, man, you don't respect your wife? You're in here in the grocery store with your wife, your girlfriend, and you make your passes at me? What? Even on dating apps. You guys do realize like 70 to 80% of those people on dating apps are married or partners. It's crazy. It's like, why even be on a dating app? Why? Is Akina happier being single than dating? Yes. I'm very content in my life, you guys. I have good friends. I have support systems. I have hobbies. I have interests. When I am not on here, I'm a pretty busy person. Um, do I think about the idea of dating? Yes. But then I have to come back to reality and come out of the delusion that it's not the Disney movies. It's none of these things that you guys are seeing in these romance movies. It's none of those things. It's not. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. And you may already know what the answer is. It's men. It's them not evolving. That's the problem. That's why it's not working out with them and women. Yep. And then you have the men who are trying, and it's still not good enough because they still can't reach the standards of most women that they meet. So it's terrible, I know. Even when some of us men, we give you the bare minimum, you still can't even reach the bar in hell, and it's like, wow, what is going on here? You've been in too much work spiritually. I'm just telling you this coming from a spiritual standpoint. I mean, it literally had to take my ex-husband 16 years to grow up to be a husband. Yeah. So think about if I had still been married to him, you guys. I would be actually just now getting the benefits of being a wife when we married in our early 20s. Unfortunately, he gave the best version of himself to his current wife. But I managed to escape that low tier behavior when I got out young, because most women don't get out. I eventually got out. I got out very, very quick. Very, very quick. I got out of the marriage because I knew that he was not ready to be a husband at the time because we were so young. But if I still had been married to him, you guys, I would have been just now getting the benefits of being a wife because he was so emotionally immature when we got married. And he still wanted to live his life how he wanted to live it. But due to societal pressure and family pressure, that is why we got married. I was actually the more mature one within our marriage, and to this day, I still am. His wife is just now getting the benefits of my ex-husband and what a husband is supposed to be. When we were young, he wanted to go to the bar. He wanted to drink. You know, he was just a complete asshole. And he still is to a degree, but he's finally grown up. And what am I saying, ladies? I'm saying that these men never really grow up until they're stuck with life's challenges, health problems, and, you know, traumatic events have happened to them where it kind of humbles them in life. I don't have time to sit around and wait on these men to grow up. I don't have time for that. You're 30, 40 years old, still acting like a teenager. I don't have time for that. You know, you still want to live your life how you want to live it, but you're out here still playing games at your big 40-year-old age. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't even think you ladies are getting the fullest from these men. You're not getting the fullest, honey. You're just getting the little parts of them. But once they get you and they have access to you, this is when the masks come off and the multiple personalities show up and all of this shadow stuff that men don't work on within themselves appear because most of them don't go to therapy. They don't believe in therapy. My husband will tell you he's not going to go to therapy. He's not going to do therapy because it's just not going to work for him. And they just continuously keep walking around like this. Red pill has ruined the majority of these men. They were already vulnerable and lost, but now they're really, really lost and really messed up mentally. I mean, they're literally having parasocial relationships with content creators, especially Black men who keep talking about Kevin Samuels, and they're just using Kevin Samuels' talking points, and they're contributing to their own male loneliness epidemic and self-infliction. So This is why I don't feel sorry um, for the majority of these men. You know, you would think they would get off of the internet. And oh no, they don't even have to get off of the internet. They can stay here and encourage men to go get therapy and go to the gym and work on themselves. No, no, they're still sitting online talking about women and weave and hair and body counts and what else are they talking about? All this old crazy stuff that is like irrelevant in relationships, like still talking about women have hit the wall and your passports and preferences, but nothing's happening because you're not keeping the you're not keeping the preferences, you're not utilizing the passport, you're not coming back with whys, you're not actually focusing on what you're saying. You're still talking about women here in the States. Like, contrary to popular opinion, I'm beyond hit the wall. I mean, no man should even be in my face at my age, but I know I would be lying if I say that men are not approaching me. Yeah, they're still approaching me. So something's not adding up here. It's the projections, it's the manipulation, it's the lies, it's all of it. I don't have time for the hoops and loops with you men. There's too many hoops and loops and too many mind games and playing games and all of this narcissistic stuff that I'm not signing up for. So I'm not the woman who hit the wall. I want you men purposely to skip me for peace of mind and sanity at this point. Ladies, I once again, are there decent men out here? Yeah. But how many traumatizing relationships do you have to keep going through before you can find a man who's healed? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend. How many dating apps do you have to keep getting on until you can find the right man? I'm just asking for a friend. At this point, I'm just asking humbly. How many relationships are you guys supposed to keep going through before you can find the right man? I'm just asking. What if you never find it? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What if I never find this good man? What if I never find it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you never find him, ladies? Yeah, I think you ladies need to be truthful with yourself because I had to do it a very long time. Um, the men tell me, "Oh, you just want a 6 feet, six figure, six. I don't know where. Oh, I know where they're getting that from. They're getting that from Kevin Samuels. That's right. Because you then cannot think for yourself. You keep having parasocial relationships with content creators about what you think women want, and they keep speaking for women. They keep speaking for women. Oh, women want 6 feet, 6 inches, 666. That sounds like the devil to me because they keep speaking for women. It's crazy how they can't think for themselves. And granted, there are some things that I do want if I were dating a man, but it's not all that. But they can't think for themselves. If you ladies never find this good man, what are you going to do? Are you going to settle or are you going to remain single? I've accepted that there are less than 10% of good men on the planet. That's it. That's all that's on the planet, you guys. And a good 70 to 80, I wouldn't even say 70. A good 80 to 90% of these men are not worth what they think they are pertaining to dating. They're not worth the effort. Potential is simply not good enough when you're dating. No. Too much, once again, too much of a liability, too much of a risk, too much of a burden. And when you factor in all of the societal and social programming, it doesn't really help many of these men in finding wives. And they're going to go overseas to find their wives, and that's great. But it's just not worth it out here to date. I am totally fine, like I told you guys, with my girlfriends and going out with them, having a good time, connecting with single women who are also decentering men or have decentered men, and connecting with you women for community building. That's really all I want at this point. I need to connect with women who have decentered men, please. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not expecting one, nor do I want one with men of today. I don't. I am beyond the whole expectations of relationships with men. Do I hate men? No. Do some of these men give me the ick? Yeah. Do some of them turn me on as an asexual woman? Yeah, they do. But at the end of the day, I've come to the conclusion that most of these men are not worth what they think they are pertaining to dating and all of this. I am the prize and pillow princess treatment. I'm good. I'm so good. Unfortunately, with so many women opting out and all of this stuff coming into motion, it's only going to create more incel in society. That's going to be problematic for women like me, unfortunately. It's gotten to the point I minimize as much contact as I can with men. I have to. I cannot talk to more than 2 men per day. I can't. I just can't do it. And I cannot talk to a man every day. Unless it's for business, I can't just sit down and talk to you men every day, all day. I can't do that. I can't do it. Too much trauma, too much drama, too many traumatic experiences women have had with you men, too many disappointments. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I think this is why women are opting out. They've had too many disappointments with you men. They've had too much trauma with you men. Too many broken hearts, too many life and death situations. And when women are at this place choosing their peace and safety and sanity over you, I can only imagine what that woman has been through. I can only imagine what she's been through. I know for a fact me being single is safer. Me being single protects myself from what's going on out here, man, on multiple levels. It's too much of a gamble, you guys. And the men are now begging for women to just date them at this point. I just, my only advice to you men who are still actively looking for women and you're still hanging on to women, go overseas. It's a done deal here in the West with a lot of us. And then when you look at the political climate, it doesn't really help the situation too much either. with this current administration and our rights. So I wanted to get on here because I think you ladies need to be realistic about where you're at if you're single. Yeah, go ahead. Um, you ladies need to be realistic. You need to be really, really realistic right now. Um, I think COVID messed up a lot. I think the biggest reason why I don't want to date is, like I said, the STDs that are up right now, and how this is becoming like a crisis in this country. I think that's the biggest risk right now for me. Yeah. Wow. A man telling me, "Oh, I don't have anything. I'm clean." That means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Actually, I can't I can't go by that. I can't trust that. Yeah, you ladies be safe out here. I mean, good luck. If you're married, you still got to worry if your husband's being faithful and loyal and vice versa, versus when you're single, you don't have to go through that. Um, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think about dating. I do, but I often think about the cons of it too. So I'm safer on the other side of the fence here. Yeah, we could be great. I don't even want to build friendships with you men. Simply because if you can't respect women in relationships, what makes you think you're gonna respect women as friends? I see how you men approach lesbian women who are not even attracted to you. I'm part of the LGBT community, and look at how, and I'm attracted to women, so I would be classified as a lesbian, even though I don't date anyone right now. But why would I? And I'm not even sure about dating you guys anymore, if you really want to get technical. But why would I want to be friends with most of you men when you don't even like women? You don't even respect women. So why would I even want to even have friendship with you? When look at how you treat certain types of women in society. No, no, thank you. I'm only interested in building connections and friendships with women who have decentered men, preferably women between the ages of 30 and 50 at this point. Those are the only women I want to connect with right now. What about us 20-year-olds? Well, ladies, the men seemingly want you guys young and fertile. So I'm not saying you guys can't be a part of any kind of desentiment thing, but um, and you can be a part of desentiment if you're really done dealing with men, for real, for real. I'm not playing with the idea of desentiment, but men have purposely said that women past the age of 30 are no valuable in this country. So that's why I say 30 to 50, even 60, 30 to 60 for me. But anyways, I'm going to get off of here. You guys have a good Sunday. Be safe. Take care of yourself. And yeah, um, really think about where your life is going to go if you are really done with these men. And, maybe you're hanging on to the idea of finding a man, or maybe you know for a fact you're going to remain single and child free. And if you're that type of woman, well, you're on the right channel. You're on the right channel. Y'all have a good day.